Hello, everybody. Welcome to Milwaukee. Welcome to the 2024 STIHL Timbersports U.S. Men's Semifinals. Just about ready to go with Pool A action. And to lead us through it, how about a guy who's been such a force in the world of lumberjack sports for so long, and he's got a big stack of records, medals, and trophies to show for it. Definitely the guy to lead us through our three pools today. Let's bring him out. The one, the only, Super Dave Jewett.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Are we live? We're live. Mike's working. Hey, Super Dave Jewett, thanks for having me back, Milwaukee. Milwaukee German Fest. 42nd annual German Fest, one of the biggest in the world. We love being here. We're psyched to be back. The women kicked it off yesterday, the women's national title. It all happened. World records broken. The title taken from the East Coast, Chadsford, Pennsylvania, back on the West Coast, Spokane, Washington. Erin Lavoie, let's give her a big round of applause, smashing the world record in the final heat. However, today is the men's division. 3 rounds of men. This is going to be Pool A, you're going to see in a moment. 3 chopping events, 3 sawing events. Half the pool will move on. We're going to take 12 into the finals. I'm going to be calling it with some help of a buddy of mine, Dave Johns. Bring it out here. Come on, Dave. He's going to be our hype guy. I'm glad you're here, buddy. It's going to be a long day.
It is great to be here, Dave. As you said, what an exciting show we had here last night. Erin Lavoie claiming her 3rd championship, but it is all about sorting out the top 12 men today. Who do you think is going to stand out, Dave?
I think it's going to be the top guys. What I'm excited to see is Dakota Robards. They've been saying we got to get this guy in. He's here today. He grew up in Naples, New York. He's been shining ever since. But it's going to be Jason Lentz, Matthew Koger, Nate Hodges. 6 events, 3 of the world records held by the gentleman you will see on the stage today. And there's rumors that the single buck world record may fall as well.
Absolutely. All right. Without further ado, let's bring him out, Dave.
Absolutely. Let's bring him out. Coming to you from Hayward, Wisconsin, your local boy. Big round of applause for Tom Lancaster.
Coming to you from Coatesville, Pennsylvania. Let's give it up for Mike Ash.
From Marquand, Missouri, big round of applause for Aaron Hovis.
Coming to you from Morgantown, West Virginia. Let's give it up for Josh Wilson.
You wanted him back, you got him. From Charleston, West Virginia, Arden Koger Jr.
Up next, your world record holder in the hot saw, hailing from Pigeons Forge, Tennessee. Let's give it up for Adam Lefko.
Your returning champion from Diana, West Virginia, slimmed down to 245 pounds, Jason Lentz.
And last but not least, always a fan favorite here in Milwaukee. Let's give it up for the local boy out of Hayward, Wisconsin, Cassidy Shear. All right, gentlemen, head back. Get ready. Up next, we got the Springboard chop coming up. So, gentlemen, go prepare. Get ready.
One more big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. This is our top qualifiers. So many athletes applied for this tournament. Only the select few are here today. We're wrapping it up. Hey, we're ready to go. We're ready to go, you guys.
Springboard. Springboard simulates the traditional way of felling trees, climbing up over thick roots. First, notches known as pockets are chopped into the log. 2 springboards are then anchored into these pockets. The athlete then climbs up to chop through a 27-centimeter thick block of wood in the fastest time possible.
All right, up first, we've got the Springboard.
Well, welcome, everybody. So great to have you with us here in Milwaukee, here for semifinal pool action. This is Pool A. Tommy Sanders here with Kevin Holtz. And Kevin, we started off the first of our 6 disciplines here, the Springboard chop, and there are our heats as it stands up right now. We'll start out with Tom Lancaster, Mike Esch, Aaron Hovis versus Josh Wilson, Adam Lefko versus Arden Koger Jr., Jason Lentz, and Cassidy Shear.
Chop that block up on top, but you can't finish the block until you switch to the awkward backhand, and it is dangerous. Tom Lancaster will be coming out of hole number 1. Cut his finger open on the first pocket, standing on the first board, cutting the top pocket. Axe slipped out, sliced his finger. His tournament was done for last year. He's back there, so we're glad to have Tom back safe, and we'll bring him out in just a moment.
All right, our first heat coming onto the stage right now on pole number 1. Let's give it up for Turbo Tom Lancaster. And on position number 2, let's give it up for the Silver Fox, Mike Esch.
Well, here we go with heat number 1. Turbo Tom Lancaster, as he is known. Stand number 1, stand number 2. One of 2 Ironmen, Kevin, of Timber Sports through the years in our Pool A action here. And this is Mike Esch of Pennsylvania in his 30th championship.
Yeah, anytime you can measure your Timber Sports career in decades, you're doing something right. Mike Esch, a very cerebral athlete. He is putting in smart cuts all the time. His technique is flawless, and his understanding of the tools, the mechanics behind these tools. He is a tremendous axe maker as well. I want to talk very briefly about Turbo Tom on stand number 1. The shortest tenure at the championships last year. It was this discipline, the very first discipline, where he injured his hand and was down for the rest of the tournament.
Athletes ready.
3, 2, 1, go!
Off and running here in our Springboard discipline. The athletes need to set a board about 3 feet off the ground, stand on that board, cut a second pocket, now about 6 feet off the ground. Then they'll go to work to these white pine blocks on the top of the tree. It's an interesting setup, Tommy, because this is the only discipline in STIHL Timber Sports action where you are cutting 2 species of wood in the same event. The poles are tulip poplar or yellow poplar. The blocks on the top are white pine. So you need to have an axe that will perform relatively well in both. You're always sort of compromising a little bit. Mike Esch summits that second board, gets the axe out at about the 45-second mark. Well, about the 43-second mark, Mike Esch is going to be going to work on this white pine at the top. Tom with a great second board set, settles in a little bit on him, but looks nice and level. Both these guys are really solid board sets. Obviously, Mike Esch with a significant head start on the front side of this block. They are going to wade deep into the front side of these logs while they're on their strong hand. They'll then turn their bodies around. They may switch hand hit on the back side of the block. They may just slash it off. Mike Esch is a switch-handed cutter. Tom Lancaster working way into the back of this block, and Lancaster's going to look to drive, slicing through near wood. That block will spin. It's going to be Esch, though. Well, Turbo Tom Lancaster already improving on his performance from last year.
That's right.
The bar was set low, but last year, obviously not how he wanted to start the tournament, with an injury right in the first discipline. This year, posted time, grabbed some points.
All right, time to hear from head judge Rich Hallett, who's been watching all of this action. Declare both cuts as being official. Matter of form, it looked like they were both pretty good.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
All right, we got Mike Esch right here. Mike, one of the oldest athletes out there. You won that event, though. You're so calm. I was watching your facial expressions. No panic whatsoever. You're an axe grinder. Everybody knows you as an axe grinder, but they don't know that you have one of the best deliveries of the axe. How important is that to have that combination on the right day here in Milwaukee?
Well, it's a lot of things together, right? You got to have a good axe, the good handle, then you got to put it just the right spot. All of that's critical to be success.
How difficult is it to cut that bottom pocket right out of the gates? You're not really warmed up. You're allowed to swing your axes out back to test them, but your body's still kind of cold. How difficult is that, or does just muscle memory take over?
Yeah, I mean, you figure it's 6 months of training. Comes down to this go here, and the first hit's always a little nerve-wracking.
Thanks for the interview. There you go, Mike Esch, leading the Springboard around 130.
There's another look at the wrap-up on heat number 1, Pool A semifinal action. Mike Esch on the near side, Tom Lancaster on the far side. Mike Esch, a switch-handed cutter, actually spends most of his time cutting right-handed, then switches and cuts left hand on the back to draw that bottom chip out, goes into some downward slicing motions. You can see how hard it is to reach around the far side of that log and find those final fibers on the far side of that log. It's a lot of F's, Tommy.
Final, that's right, too many F's right there. All right, well, Mike Esch had a personal best previously of 1:50. He has bettered that by more than 20 seconds by cutting 1:30 and 14. So we're going to get ready for heat number 2 of our 4 heats. Springboard chop coming right up.
If we didn't have some swag out here.
Yeah, I've lost my co-commentator already. There he goes.
I'm a man of the people.
There he goes into the crowd. He does best.
I tell you what, though, I got to hear some noise for STIHL Timbersports, though, to get some flags out here. We got to hear some noise. I hear noise over here. He's looking away from me. I don't know. He's scared of me. Yeah, he just doesn't want the microphone. Let's keep going. Keep it going here. There we go. Let's keep it going. We got the Springboard event up next. Absolutely. You got to scream for me, buddy. Let's hear it. There it is. I love it. Well done. You guys got to cheer. Let's hear it. I love your dress. You can have one. Absolutely. There you go. Take those. This might be one of our youngest fans out here. There you go. I love it. I mean, you're kind of like a coyote over here. We're going to give you one of the for that. I love it. I got to hear some apologies. All right, you got to wave them in every event, all right? Need one more? All right.
All right, let's bring it out. Heat number 2 from Marquand, Missouri, Aaron Hovis, and his opponent from Morgantown, West Virginia, Josh Wilson.
On stand number 1 from Marquand, Missouri, it's going to be Aaron Hovis going up against Josh Wilson. Up-and-comer from West Virginia. Of course, you can't call him that. He's been around for a while now, Kevin. He's kind of established himself in the top tier.
Yeah, he really has, and it's been awesome, I would say, in the past 2 to 3 years, especially, to see the growth from Josh Wilson. He's in Pool A. I hate to pick favorites,
okay,
right? Like you don't want to sound biased, but I really want to see some big things from Josh Wilson today. I'd really love to see him just launch himself to the top of this pool. He's been putting in the work. His skills are developing, and I feel like this is the year. This is the year that he can really just put all these pieces together.
Aaron Hovis, big college career, Three Rivers and Poplar Bluff, southeast Missouri there. Lots of wins at the collegiate level. Works as a chainsaw safety instructor. That's his occupation right now.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Right, Hovis right there on the go. Wilson just a half a step behind. I don't think he was ahead of the go. That's a good thing, but he was right there with the go, and he's trying to capitalize on it. Wilson, though, reeling in. A little bit of an upslope on that board from Hovis. That sets your whole altitude higher than you'd want to be. You can't see into that pocket now. Puts you in a really funny sort of body mechanics. It changes your presentation of the axe head of the pole. Gets even worse, though, when that upslope is on that second board. Now you got to go through the tough job of chopping that wood in an awkward sort of sloped position. Your body is not in a good, in its normal mechanical position. Josh Wilson, the inverse problem, though, with his board sagging down. Josh Wilson is wading deep into that block. He had a couple missed hits on the downslope. Got it reeled in, though. A lot of cuttable wood there. I think he kind of ended up short. Oh, he's got it.
Going to do it?
Josh Wilson coming in around the 1 minute 11 second mark.
That's unofficial. Could be, though, when official, his personal best. Personal best previously 1:12. And Aaron Hovis.
Both cuts are good.
I was supposed to interview you. You're asking me, how's it going? I'm doing great. I didn't have to chop that springboard. You know, we were just talking about springboard poles, how the species can vary. Sometimes it's red pine, it can be white pine. Today it's tulip poplar. Do you make an adjustment on how deep you put that pocket in based on the species of the wood?
Well, it actually makes the adjustment for you. Yellow poplar is a little bit harder than white pine or aspen, so you got to use a little bit different edge on the axe. But as long as you've got trees like these, it cuts well, and that's the best tree I've cut all year, so I'm stoked with that cut.
Great job, Josh. You're going to be cutting the standing block on the ground. That's your best event coming up very soon. Congratulations. 1 minute, 10 seconds.
Yeah, thanks.
Good luck. There you go, Josh Wilson, coming all the way from West Virginia, Morgantown.
There's a look at that cut from Josh Wilson as he goes to work on that second board hole. You can see that axe sticking a little bit. And there he's doing the old finger broom, cleaning out those chips. Just a tiny sliver of wood. A little bit of junk mail in the back of that mailbox. If it gets on top of that springboard shoe, the very edge, the sharp edge of that springboard shoe will not bite into the top of the pocket. It will eject that springboard out super, super quick. This is where Josh had a little bit of a small face in the front side of the log. Did not have a lot of clean wood to drive through or slash into. And you'll see the stump is going to or the top of the block is going to kind of jump up off of the block. That was because he was a little bit dog-legged on the backside of that block.
Well, an official time for Josh Wilson of a minute 10:64. That is a new personal best. Besting his old mark by about 2 seconds right there. And right behind him, Aaron Hovis, a minute 27.97 for him. Not a personal best. He has done a little better in the past, but those two go to positions 1 and 2. The point situation here in the springboard chop. That's half of our field down, having competed. We got 2 more heats to go, though, before we are finished with the springboard chop.
Yeah, I'm heading out to the crowd right now. I've got some more of these amazing German Fest flags, but I've got to hear some noise for STIHL right now. And our other sponsors, Duluth Trading Company, Ace Hardware, John Deere. Let's hear it out here. I know it's still a little early. I know the beers haven't been flowing like they should be yet. Well, let's hear it. Come on. Nice and loud. Nice and loud. Here we go. We'll get some flags out here. Keep cheering. Keep cheering. Loud cheers get my attention. Keep coming. Oh, he's got a beer. Yeah, he's cheering. I like it. Just got to wave him. Yes, there we go. I love the hat, buddy. I love the hat. We got to get you one of those hats. You want a flag too? Do you have a special talent? Can you earn it? You can fly? You can fly? All right. If you can fly, you can have a flag. Absolutely. There you go. If you can give me the German word for cheers, you can have a flag.
What's that?
You can give me the German word for cheers, you can have a flag.
I don't.
Prost.
Bro.
Absolutely. Well, your son earns one because he got that awesome German hat on, too. All right. You got to promise. You got to wave this during every event, okay? Absolutely. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. I made it to the back, and I still got flags left, so let's hear it. I know. All right, buddy. You deserve one. All right, enjoy. I missed it. See, there we go. There we go. And I've been hearing her. I'll come back. I'll come back. I mean, could I say no to that face? Could I say no to that face? Absolutely not.
Heat 3 in the springboard chop from Charleston, West Virginia, Arden Koger Jr. and his opponent from Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Adam Lethko.
Should be a good matchup right here. Arden Koger Jr., the other one of our Iron Men in this Pool A competition, along with Mike Ash. He's up to about 30 championships as well. Going up against Adam Lethko of Tennessee. Why do I say this is going to be a good match? I just look at their personal best. For Adam Lethko, it's 52.94. For Arden Koger Jr., it's 52.58.
Well, Tommy, I say numbers schmumbers.
Okay.
You can say all you want. I'm backing Adam Lethko on this one.
Well, he has one advantage, I think, in terms of number of birthdays and so forth like that. But you never can tell. Arden pops up and gives us an eye-popping performance every now and then. And why shouldn't he do it right now?
No, absolutely. And it really could go either way. But there's certain competitors with certain disciplines that I love to watch. Adam Lethko, I love watching him cut the springboard, and I love how the guy runs a hot saw. I mean, how could you not?
World record holder in the hot saw. He'll be coming up
Athletes
later
ready.
running that saw.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
4 hits from Lethko on the right. That's how it says in the textbook. It ought to be done. He's going to try to do it again here on the second one. There's number 3. Here comes number 4. He's got to give it a quick little sweep out, I think. No, straight into the hole. I saw a big chip hanging out of that. There it goes. The chip just ejected. Adam Lethko axe to wood around the 22-second mark. Tell you what, though, that axe from Lethko is just resting a little bit or hanging a little bit in the outside of that white pine. The inside of that log might cut a little different when he gets into the guts of it. Big slab from Adam Lethko on stand number 2. He turns into the back here with a switch hit. There it is, Adam Lethko showing a 50.03.
Nice job. Both cuts are good.
Adam, a lot of stories coming into today. You know, you've always flirted with a world record. Last couple of years, Timber Sports, you've hit the deck hard. You've come out of the top board, and you can kind of get in a slump. I know you say when it gets in your head, you refer to it as being in quicksand. It's very difficult to get out of it, get your confidence back, but it looks like you are climbing out. Just awesome, buddy. 49 seconds. Talk about it.
Yeah, that was a nice, safe cut. I didn't want to push any limits too much. Make sure my pockets were nice and deep. I left a little bit. If I do make it on tomorrow, I can try a little bit harder.
Awesome. It's just incredible to watch you chop up on the top. You chop harder up on the board than a lot of the gentlemen cut on the deck, throwing your whole body into it, and that really is the name of the game, that confidence.
I don't know about that. A lot of the guys are that much bigger than me down on the ground, but I do think I probably do swing as hard as anybody up on the board.
Congratulations. Sub 50-second time. Big round of applause. Adam Lethko.
Well, here's a look at that run from Lethko. We just kind of fast forward a little bit past the best part, but looking into that pocket, just a beautiful 4-hit pocket. We'll watch as this one comes together. We'll jump past that one too. But again, another great 4-hit pocket. Looked way cleaner from that angle looking in the hole than it did from back here at the back of the facility. There's that chip I saw fall out. Clearly not in the way of his springboard shoe. Great clean set and a great board set. There you see that block sever. It's split. That is not a DQ. You see the nails around the top rim of that block. That is supposed to prevent the face of the block from falling over. But when the thing splits in half, you'd have to have nails and bolts going through the whole darn thing to stop that from happening.
Everything coming together for Adam Lethko right there. A new personal best for him. He goes from 52 and change down to sub 50, 49.79 seconds, of course. Taking over the lead, Josh Wilson remains in second place with a minute 10. Pretty good ways back there. Arden Coker Jr. with his minute 12:51 is in third place.
Now, Dave, coming up, we've got two absolute monsters in this. We've got Jason Lentz from Diana, West Virginia, and we've got Cassidy Shear. Talk to me about these two guys hitting the stage right now. They are both very respected in the Springboard event.
Oh, well, we talked about the national record is broke here by Nate Hodges in 37, I believe it was 37 seconds. Everybody gives the credit to Nate Hodge. What nobody knows is Cassidy Shear was just a couple tenths behind him, also in that 37-second cut. Cassidy Shear is right there for the national record. The world record was broken 35 seconds. Shear can do it. Shear can break records. He started as a speed climber professionally. He's been chopping his whole life. But he's climbed 90, 100-foot poles, come flying down, up and down in 19, 20 seconds. He's absolutely fearless. So when he gets to that top board, you talk about Adam Lethko throwing his body into it. Time times 2 is Cassidy Shear. Jason Lentz, incredibly powerful, but let's face it, he's 245 pounds. He was 260 last year. That's a big man to get up on that board. He wants to be sure those boards, those pockets are solid. His best events are on the ground following the springboard. But I'll be excited to see what happened to Cassidy Shear. He was knocked out of the finals last year after 3 events, so he was not able to cut the springboard in the finals. You've got to believe he's been thinking about that for a year, and he's going to be out here looking to make a point. Final heat of the springboard from Diana, West Virginia, Jason Lentz. And we were just talking about him, his opponent from Hayward, Wisconsin, your local boy, Cassidy Shear.
Here we go with heat number 3. Coming up in the springboard, it's going to be our defending champion, 2023 STIHL TIMBERSPORTS U.S. Championships here, Jason Lentz, going up against another athlete who has won a U.S. championship here. Son of the state of Wisconsin here, Cassidy Shear. Cassidy Shear, who has been pointed out, if you've been listening to our streaming coverage here from the stage as well by Super Dave, that he's got the ability, he's got the record that could project him into a world record here. Or a U.S. record, I should say.
Yeah, this is definitely our marquee matchup for this pool. These guys are at the top of their game. Both former STIHL Timbersports champions, as you pointed out, Tommy. Both have personal bests, sub 50 seconds. Cassidy Shear has been right there at world record pace, right behind Nate Hodges when Nate won the world record.
Athletes ready.
2019.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1. Go!
Jason Lentz really tight on the go. I love to see that. These guys are looking for every nanosecond they can find. Cassidy Shear, a really nice flat first board set there on stand number 2. Lentz is listing. He is toes down, heels up. It gives you that sensation that you're going to be falling forward off the board. Cassidy Shear is ahead of Adam Lethgo's pace here as he gets to the block at the top with a beautiful second board set. Just absolutely helicopter swings that axe. A little bit of a wild chop going on for Cassidy Shear. Jason Lentz, though, is doing a great job trying to catch up, shifting a ton of timber in that block at the top. Cassidy Shear is past the 42-second mark. There it is, one small half hit for Cassidy Shear. Comes off at a 47.35. That should take down the time of Adam Lethgo.
47.35 unofficially for Shear, 52.22 unofficially for Jason Lentz. We'll get the official word from the head judge, Rich Allen. Man, what a run for Cassidy, though. He's got to be feeling it. I'm only flying out right over that.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
There you go, Cassidy Shear. We've been talking about it. It was on this stage. It seems like it was just yesterday going into the final round. Yeah, it's a new rule. They do the stock saw underhand standing block. You just missed the points, and then you were like, I got my handle on the single buck saw. I got my springboards and my hot saw ready to go. Unfortunately, you had to go home. Tell me that is not fueling you going into this first round today.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bummer last year. You know, didn't get some great blocks, a few bad cuts, missed the final, but that's timber sports. It's imperfect. And I'm coming out here trying to cut clean, trying to have fun. I appreciate everyone coming out today. Woo! And yeah, that was a great start. I opened up really shallow on my front. I've never taken that many hits on the back before.
You did come up with very steep up hits. I noticed that. You did pinch, but you're so strong on the backside, and you really needed to tap into that.
Yeah, that was a nice clean cut, 4-4 climb. I'll take those 8 points.
Great job, Cassidy. The winner in the springboard from Hayward, Wisconsin. Your leader overall, Cassidy Shear.
Here's a look at that run from Cassidy Shear. He's on the backside of the pole here. 4-4, as he mentioned, just like Adam Lethgo did, but he did it a little quicker. There was a tough go there in the first pocket. You see him sort of wrench that chip out of the guts of that pocket. Did the same thing here on the second board set, but again, 4-4, made sure it was cleaned out. Beautiful, flat, level board set. And here we'll see at the top here where he gets a little bit of a short front face in. This is a little bit of nerves. You know, he definitely was looking for some redemption from last year, but ends up with kind of a short stepped in face. That's a great camera angle. There is a lot of timber there that he needs to cut on his offhanded side. He would rather be way deeper, another maybe 4 inches deeper into the front side of that log and have less work to do, but this is timber sports. Just grit it and go. Digs in big time on the backside with those helicopter swings. Has to pick up those last few fibers. Posts an excellent time.
Excellent effort, and for the 2019 champion, Cassidy Shear, top points in the springboard there. The best time by just a fraction of a second ahead of Adam Lethgo's excellent cut there. Gives him those top points of 8. Of course, 8 points is the maximum you can get in this. And of course, we are trying to identify, we keep stressing this, the top 4 among these 8 hopefuls in Pool A. And right now, with the advantage, Cassidy Shear, our 21-23 champion. Jason Lentz finishes in 3rd place, and of course that's going to mirror the overall point standings. It's the exact same thing here after 1 discipline, and so Cassidy Shear, the man on top with 5 disciplines remaining in the overall 2024 U.S. Championships of the STIHL TimberSports Series. We have got some more chopping coming. No, we have got some sawing coming up next. The stock saw is next after this.
The pursuit of the perfect cut continues with our full line of STIHL mowers. From gas or battery to zero turns and push mowers, join the pursuit and find your perfect cut. 0% financing available for qualified buyers. Real STIHL. Find yours.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Your local Ace is the largest national retailer of STIHL power tools. Gas or battery, you won't find this full lineup at a warehouse here. You can find it at Ace. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own 2 hands.
Stock saw. After the starting shot, the contestants have to cut 2 wooden discs, so-called cookies, within a 10-centimeter mark. 1 downward and 1 upward. The attempt is only valid when both discs have been cut off completely and within the marks.
We are back. Welcome back to Milwaukee with our live coverage of this pool competition, U.S. men's semifinals, the STIHL Timbersports Series 2024. 3 pools. 8 per pool. We're trying to identify the top 4. Let's get our intros and get going with discipline number 2, the stock saw. Super Dave.
Dave, we're going to have a sea of orange out here, but here we go. Introductions into the stock saw. Take it away, Dave. All right, heat 1 of the stock saw stepping up onto the stage now. On stand 1, let's give it up for Tom Lancaster. And on position 2, Aaron Hovis.
Heat number 1 of the stock saw. Here we go. Gotta have 2 cuts, 1 up, 1 down. 1 down, 1 up, I should say. That's the order. Turbo Tom Lancaster starting on stand number 1. Be going up against Aaron Hovis on stand number 2.
Well, Tommy, we talk about this a lot. Stock saw, arguably the least physically taxing event that we have here as part of the STIHL Timbersports Series.
Warm up
the
your
most
saws.
Mentally taxing.
Probably the most equity as far as the closeness of past performances and potential performances. You could throw a blanket over, as you put it, Kevin, all these guys as far as their times go in the stock saw.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh yeah, Tommy, you're absolutely. Oh wow, trouble on stand number 1. Tom Lancaster, as I said, this is a mental event. Tom Lancaster hit the top of the log as he was trying to get set up for his first cut. Also had it bobble as he transitioned to the second cut. That is a tough run for Tom Lancaster. He will be, I guess, outside the blanket, if you will, Tommy.
Yeah.
He will not be in that group that it typically falls within a tenth or 2.
We're investigating an incomplete disc. We need 2 complete discs on the deck.
So, Rich is double checking stand number 1 to see if that counts as a clean first cut, where he sort of raked the saw as he was setting up for his first cut, kind of skimmed across. Now, what they're also looking for, they're matching it up to a actual complete disc to see, make sure there were no like flat spots on the log for any other reason. That doesn't look good for my seat, Tommy.
No.
One of the things we will see, sometimes the disc will fall off the log and break, like a little top edge will break off if they can put it back together.
After examining the cookies, we determined that this is a DQ, incomplete disc. Your cut is good.
That is a tough break for Tom Lancaster.
But Lancaster was so fast retrieving that log, and he's still trying to remake that disc Hovis. The fist bump, buddy. Great fist bump. Awesome cut, clean into the wood, beautiful exchange. Looked like another day at the office. You got the heart race, the heart's beating, or are you just calm out there saying, let's do my job?
Well, that's the idea, is to be like that, but it does not happen. No, stock saw is an event that, like Martha King said yesterday, it's a great equalizer. Anybody can mess up, anybody can make a great cut, so trying to make everything as smooth as possible is the main thing. But, you still got those jitters you got to work through.
That's right. You've got your lining up for the first disc, and then you're looking at the top handle, you're looking at your throttle hand, so you have to take your eyes off the wood momentarily. What is it, about foot placement? How do you know when you bring that saw up, you're going to hit that line 1 inch into the wood like you did?
So everybody's got a little bit different technique, but the main thing that I do is try to be lined up for my upcut, and then I got one leg that's longer than the other, so I just kind of sit like I normally would, and it lines me up for my first cut. So I just set it where I need to be, and then I stay where I'm at go. I'm looking at that handle and go, and it's usually right there where I need it.
It was right there where you need it. Great job, Aaron Hovis. Hey, I knew it. Sub 12 seconds, 11.97, one of the fastest times we've seen all weekend. Congratulations, Aaron Hovis. You are our leader, buddy.
Well, great run from Aaron Hovis, but a tough run for Tom Lancaster on stand number 1. We watched this saw come up, and he sort of just fans at the end of the log. He knew there was trouble. He kind of stops and starts. He went to move over again, and then he fanned again and scraped the inside of that cut as well. So almost took away and had 2 incomplete discs. Aaron Hovis, stand number 1, up clean, beautiful, nice, consistent 1-inch thick disc for his first cut. Sets himself up. Time out of the wood needs to be minimal. You're not cutting. And that was a beautiful switch over from Hovis. That saw was out and back in fractions of a second.
Sub 12 time for Aaron Hovis, 11.97, short of his personal best, but good enough to take over first place. Tom Lancaster, unfortunate, the DQ right there as we move out of Heat 1 into Heat 2, ready to go momentarily in the stock saw.
But he wants to, but Hovis sticking around. We're going to be seeing him for years. Great cut. Anytime you're under 12 seconds, you're a pro in this event. I love it.
Absolutely. All right, up next, stock saw, Heat 2. On position 1, we have Adam Lefko. And on position 2, the Vanilla Gorilla, Arden Koger Jr.
Adam Lefko on stand number 1. Adam Lefko, a good performance in the springboard chop. Got second place points going for him in that one right there. And as he did in the springboard, he'll be going up in the stock saw against Arden Koger Jr.
Well, Tommy, when Adam was up in the springboard, I mentioned I love to watch him run springboard. I love to watch him run the hot saw. You know, he's a great stock saw operator, too.
Oh, yeah.
Warm up your saws.
Koger, his performance in the springboard has just below midpoint. Just outside that top board that we're looking for today. Would love to improve that position in the stock saw.
3, 2, 1, go!
Competitors have to start with 4 fingers of each hand across the center line of the wood. Got a camera on a pole behind them. Oh no! Trouble on stand 1 for Lefko. Coming off an amazing springboard run, he is going to give this away to Arden Koger Jr. Oh no, Arden Koger Jr. may have trouble too.
Uh-oh.
What is going on?
We're checking this stand for incomplete line.
So trouble on stand 2 for Arden Koger Jr. potentially severing the line. You can, oh yeah, Rich Hallett didn't have to look at that one long, did he, Tommy?
No, you can look at Arden's body language as well.
Over here,
all
cut
was
the line.
not wrong.
Your cut is good.
So a DQ for Arden Koger Jr.
Adam Lefko smiling at that. Your cut is good because he knows that wasn't good.
Come here. You want to talk about it? Okay, you want to talk about it? Hey, speed's the name of the game, but that entrance into the wood, kind of the same thing that happened as Aaron Hovis. You went in, you looked good, and then that end of the bar, the nose just started peeling out. It's difficult to recognize that sometimes. You have to kind of tip your head over. How did you recognize the site? Hey, look, I got to go back.
I could actually feel it in the wood a little bit, so I peeked over and knew that I was out. Just kind of get used to knowing the pressure. You know, I reached down, I missed the trigger on the go, got me off a little bit. I didn't feed the saw into the wood very well, so it wasn't going to be a fast time anyways, but then I really dumpster fired it, you know, so.
Dumpster fire. Thanks for your time. Great interview. Thanks again, Nate. But great springboard. He's still got those springboard points. He's still in the game. Adam Lefko.
Arden Koger Jr. over on stand number 2. The first cut is a little bit thick. You know, it's an inch and a half on a 1-inch cut. Got a little heavy at the bottom, and I think he's just feeling the pressure to go. Came out of the bottom and over, and here it is. That's the magic eraser move. Just absolutely destroys that line, takes a look and realizes, yeah, game over, DQ. You can nick the line, you can shave the line, you can't erase the line. Adam Lefko a little bit thick on his first cut. You can see his target mark, a little crayon mark at the top of that log. He's definitely inside of it. Good, quick switch. He may have been a little crooked. Credit to Lefko, though. I see competitors, I've done it myself, I've been cut out on that upcut, and for him to recognize, this doesn't quite feel right. I see people go halfway through the log and not dial into the fact that we're only cutting half the timber.
Got 2 discs right there for Adam Lethko. That's what counts for him. Time he's not going to be pleased with, 13.38, but he is still in the game, as you mentioned, Kevin, because it's great performance in the springboard chop.
Yeah, but that hurts, Tommy. You can't, like, I'd love to see Adam come out in the top of this pool and advance, grab some points in the springboard. Nobody's surprised about that. That's where he's got to cash in those points, but you can't give up points along the way.
See Lefko's position points-wise, still hanging in there at the top position now, but we are just halfway through.
And we saw it with Hannah Quigley yesterday in the women's division. She said she has not taken a week off from training since Milwaukee last year. She trains the stock saw, and yesterday said just could not get the feel for the saw. She was letting off, she was adding pressure, just wasn't there. And unfortunately, she took a last place, but that's not Hannah Quigley.
Absolutely.
It just was yesterday. And just things happen, and this is a big stage, the brightest lights, and things happen.
All right, here we go. Heat 3 of the stock saw coming to stand 1. Let's give it up for Cassidy Shear. And on position 2, Mike Ash.
Two heats remaining, and they're still chasing 11 and 9-7, and sometimes that time, it puts the pressure on them. Sometimes they go and say, hey, look, I don't want to just
Cassidy Shear on stand 1, Mike Esch on stand number 2. Cassidy with a good performance in the springboard chop. Mike Esch actually put down his personal best in his springboard effort there. Didn't get quite as high in the points as Cassidy did.
Warm up your saws.
I think this is going to be a race, Tommy. I think these two guys, there's a couple decades separating them in terms of experience level, but they both are very cerebral athletes. They are students of this discipline.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Mike Ash very quick to the log. Cassidy Shear not waiting around. Look at the discharge. Oh, yeah. Here we go, Tommy. It is Shear.
Good one. Oh,
wow.
Shear
that
gets it.
second disc, that second cut was all Cassidy Shear. He was just giving that saw everything he had.
He was ranked the lowest in the stock saw, and he said, why am I ranked the lowest? He came out and won the stock saw, and unofficially he's in the lead. Cassidy Shear.
Look to be 2 good cuts. Let's get the final verdict.
Both cuts are good.
Cassidy, great time, 11.97, a time to beat. Unofficially, you're in the middle 11s. I always remember the first year that you came on to Milwaukee in Timber Sports, you were ranked the lowest in the stock saw, and you said at the meeting, why am I ranked the lowest? Why do I have to go first? You went out, proved your point, you won the stock saw, and you are in the lead again today. Great job, Cassidy.
Yeah, and that was the only time I ever won the stock saw. So to come out and have the leading time so far, I don't like that event. My nerves get me. It's a weird one. Yeah, that was smooth, felt great, felt fast, and I'll take it. Yo-ho!
Great job, Cassidy. Big round of applause from Hayward, Wisconsin. Cassidy Shear, your leader in the stock saw.
There's a great look at these two guys side by side. Watch the bodies of both of these competitors. The feet are not going to move. The hips are just going to drop with the saw. You don't want to be shuffling around, changing your position. And it really was the upcut where Cassidy Shear just rips up through the top of this log. What a great run from Cassidy Shear.
Said he doesn't like the stock saw, but he liked the feeling of that one right there. Seemed like it was fun and easy, and he takes over the top position. Our heats right now with a time of 11.25. Strong time puts him ahead of Mike Ash coming in there. Second place points with 1 heat remaining in the stock saw. So 2 good efforts right there. Good race. 2 veterans.
Ash sitting in second right now, but again, these 11 seconds time, putting a lot of pressure with 1 heat remaining.
Yeah, but if there's anybody that could top Cassidy's time, it is the next 2 guys. These guys are assassins with saws in their hands. No matter if they're stock saws, single buck saws, or hot saws, these 2 come to play every day. Now, Dave, I'm so pumped that Cassidy let out his first yo-ho of the day. That means he is feeling it. And, you know, being German Fest and all, later on today, after he is out of there, after we get out here in a little while, he's going to come out after this pool, and we're going to do a yo-hodling contest out on the stage. We're going to do a big old contest out there. We're going to have some swag to give away. Because, I mean, it's German Fest. There's a pile of yodeling. I think we need to do some yo-hodling, Dave.
That's all you. I'm going to be staying. I'm going to stay in my safe spot over here. That's going to be all you, buddy.
I mean, I thought you were going to enter. You got the pipes for this. You got the pipes.
I competed in timber sports for 25 years. I still have I'm still an athlete, so I'm not going to yo-hodl yet. Maybe after a couple beers tonight, maybe you can get me to do that, Dave.
We'll have you go for the all-around. Yeah, absolutely. All right, final heat of the stock saw. Coming to the stage right now on position 1, Jason Lentz. And on position 2, Josh Wilson.
Here, these national championships coming up. The final heat of the stock saw going to be on stand number 1. Cradle number 1, cradle number 2. Going to be Josh Wilson, West Virginia. Josh would like to lay down a good time here. His personal best so far is a 10.40. That would go a long way today.
Warm up your saws.
I don't think the timber is here for those kind of times today, Tommy. Like we saw that with the women's division too. I was predicting times you get down to the 11s and 10s and just wasn't there, and that happens.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both these guys super quick to the wood. Look at Lentz just melting down through. It is all Lentz at the end of the first cut, and he is going to take this easily. Wow. 11.35 showing as his unofficial time. He's going to be top 2.
Slamming it right on the line. Unbelievable cut by Jason Lentz. That was the fastest entrance into the wood we've seen in a long time. He slammed it down.
Both cuts are good.
$11.25, the time to beat. Man, oh man, you attacked that. That was unbelievable. How you just retrieving that saw. You got the top handle right where you wanted. You would put those crayon lines on top of the log, and you just hit it dead on, splitting that line down the middle with force. That's just training, isn't it?
Yeah, that was one of my better starts, Dave. When you draw those lines, you aim for those, but I hit it dead center, and yeah, gave me 11.16. That's a pretty good time, I think.
Oh, that's a great time. It really comes down to having a little, you have the confidence, 4th generation timber sports athlete. Sometimes you just got to have that little swagger on stage, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty tough to get though, Dave. These are a tough group of competitors, you know, and I'm last year's champion, so I got the X on my back, and everybody's coming for me, so because they want to stand on that number 1 spot on the podium. So yeah, I'll take everything I can get from here on in.
Keep going, buddy. 3rd place in the Springboard, a win in the stock saw. Jason Lentz, Diana, West Virginia, looking for another national title.
Well, look at this launch from Jason Lentz, as Dave Jewett pointed out, on the mark. Split the crayon line right down the middle. Tell me, these athletes are recording all of their practice runs on videos. They know their times, hands down to the saw up to the wood, time through the first cut, time from first cut to second cut, so on and so forth, all the way through stage by stage, and they are refining each of those moments, looking for every nanosecond they can get.
Well, the official times come out now, and 11.16 puts Jason Lentz on top, the winner of top points in the stock saw, and Cassidy Shear will have to settle for second place with his good cut of 11.25. Mac Ash in 3rd. Of course, but the big story is, of course, the overall points. That's what we're looking at right now, and it's Cassidy Shear with a slim lead, single point ahead of Jason Lentz. It's early on, just 2 down, but the real story, Josh Wilson in. Aaron Hovis out at this point right now. Top 4 only advance to the finals. We will continue from here in Milwaukee with this Pool A action. We got more chopping coming up. The standing block is on the way. Don't go away.
What drives us may be different, but what we share is the pursuit. Whether taken on the job site or your own backyard, let the pursuit of the perfect cut begin. STIHL zero-turn mowers are here. Right now, get 0% financing plus up to a $1,500 instant rebate on select STIHL zero-turn mowers. Real STIHL.
Your local Ace is the largest national retailer of STIHL power tools. Gas or battery, you won't find this full lineup at a warehouse store. You can find it at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Master and Mike Esch. This is the
standing block chop is next. Number 3 of 6 disciplines. All our athletes will take part in all disciplines today, unlike tomorrow when we will have a cut after 3 and 2 disciplines during the finals. That is coming up tomorrow with our live coverage right now. Heat number 1 of the standing block, Thomas Lancaster on stand number 1 and Mike Esch on stand number 2.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both these guys really hungry for those STIHL TimberSports overall points. Tom Lancaster with a DQ in the stock saw did not grab any points. Lancaster around before Mike Esch, but look at all the timber that is in the front of that log. There is a ton of cuttable wood there. I bet it's going to be I bet it's going to be Esch. You know what, even Tom, give him credit, he got the backside of that log off quicker than I thought. There was an immense amount of cuttable wood in the front side of that log.
Both cuts are good.
I love it, Mike. I love having you back every year. You're awesome. You're in your 50s now, but it's not slowing you down. We were talking about you grind these axes. Every axe is about $650, and they give you the opportunity to test your equipment in the logs out back. And your axes they look like they want to go to the handle. What are you looking for when you test a box of axes?
Well, you're looking for a combination of penetration and freedom. The axe has got to be free. It's got to feel good in your hands, but obviously it's got to cut.
You've got every competitor in the country calling you, saying, Mike, can you grind an axe for me? How difficult is it to say no once in a while? You just got to do your own gear, and it really is such a strain on you, especially when you're trying to train.
Well, it's pretty hard because you want to have people do well, and when I do gear for them, I feel like I'm part of their winning as well. So it's exciting on that aspect, but it takes a lot of time out of my own training.
Thanks a lot, Mike. I got 3 or 4 axes I'll be sending home with you after the show. Great round of applause for Mike Esch.
Here we go. We look at these two guys go head to head. Mike Esch, again, he talks about the right axe, but also the right presentation. But I want to draw your attention to the background. That is what, and this used to get a laugh out of Jason Wynyard every time when I'd call that the wall of shame. You don't want to leave that wall of very cuttable wood just begging to be cleared out. Lancaster bailed to the backside of this log, had to put in a tremendous amount of effort in the backside of the log. In contrast with Mike Esch, he'd done all the work he could possibly do in the front, was cleared back to no cuttable wood anymore, and drove through from the back.
Well, Mike Esch, by the numbers, getting it done there and achieving a new personal best, 23.62 to take top points for now after a single heat in the standing block chop. Tom Lancaster's time officially 26.05.
26.05.
Second heat of the standing block chop, Adam Lethko versus Arden Koger Jr.
Here we go, a rematch from the Springboard chop from earlier to start our program today. Adam Lethko going up against Arden Koger Jr.
Well, Tommy Lethko did not exceed his own expectations in the stock saw. Posted that 13-second time, and originally I'm like, that's not terrible, I guess. But the time's just melted away for everybody else. He was the lowest finisher in the stock saw who was actually awarded a time.
Yeah.
Fortunately for Adam, 2 DQs
Athletes
behind
ready.
him. He's got to reset, though, for this standing block chop.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ooh, Arden Koger Jr. right on that go. I think he was clean, but we'll leave that to the judges, I guess. He is bringing that pace that he is so famous for, especially in the underhand chop. He is so dangerous, though, in this standing block chop as well. He's got to get after that far wood, though. A ton of timber out there, reaching for it. Lethko driving. Lethko hung. Arden Koger Jr. posts an 18.99.
Both cuts are good.
We're going to get a quick word from Arden Koger Jr. Arden, great cut, unfortunate of the stock saw, and you're really driving off the legs. Let's back up. What happened a few weeks ago? You're setting up one of these 500-pound springboard pulls. Talk to us.
My wife told me not to talk about it, but I was setting it up. I had it on my shoulder. My right knee buckled, and I sprained my MCL, tore my meniscus, and had ruptured a Baker's cyst. So I was on crutches for a week, and I'm just glad to be here. I'm ibuprofened up really good. I have to have surgery on the leg. So, yeah, life is what it is. You make the most of it.
Great job, Arden Koger Jr. Big round of applause. Bouncing back in a big way, taking the lead in the standing block.
Let's go back and have a look here at Arden Koger Jr., the near ground, Adam Lethko in the far ground. Great looking slope and accuracy from Lethko in the background. He goes after that one last up hit. Looks like he's got it. Arden Koger Jr., though, watch the snow shovel that Arden Koger Jr. throws at this log. Goes 1 and 1, then goes after those corners, those points of wood. And that just sucks the axe into the block. It's amazing how that feels when you strike one of those sharp corners with that axe and just feel it just draw the axe into the block. He has cleaned out. There you see the top of the log shift a little bit on that down hit. Finishes off, drives a ton of wood on the far side. Great standing block cut. Nice job, Arden Koger Jr.
Good time as well. Official time 18.76 for Arden Koger Jr. right there, who had so much difficulty in the stock saw. Managed only a DQ there to knock him out of the top 4. He's not back into the top 4 yet, but that one certainly helps him maintain, sort of stay close to that cut line. And that cut line is what it's all about today. Only the top 4 will advance.
As well. Yeah, I've seen Adam do that. I'm not shocked anymore because I've seen Adam do it, just defying physics. But there's a man coming up in a second. I think we're going to see that 18.76 fall. And as soon as we get the go-ahead for intros, we're going to bring him out. We're going? Oh, we're going. Here we go. Third heat of the standing block chop. Here he is from Hayward, Wisconsin, Cassidy Shear. And his opponent, second place in the stock size, Aaron Hovis.
All right, coming up, Cassidy Shear, Aaron Hovis in this matchup in the standing block chop. Time to beat, laid down by Arden Koger Jr. of 18.76. Cassidy Shear, when we started this third discipline of the day, the man on top of the leaderboard. Total points by a single point.
Athletes
Defending
ready.
champ Jason Lentz.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Cassidy Shear put on a great show in the springboard chop. Same basic discipline here. Now we're standing on the stage. These guys had the benefit, though, of watching that 18-second cut. Oh, huge slab of wood. Now, it's interesting. He was asking a lot of questions about slab rules at the start in the competitor meeting, and then he draws a huge slab here in the chop. Aaron Hovis, 2 fists in the air, a 19-10 showing for Aaron Hovis. What a great run.
Both cuts are good.
From Marquand, Missouri. Love it. 2 fists skyward. Aaron Hovis. I had a feeling you got tired of us talking about Cassidy and you went out. That was an unbelievable cut. One of the best I've seen you make.
Yeah, that cut felt really, really good. I've been training a lot for standing block, and my swing's been feeling really good, so I'm glad I was able to showcase that here.
Absolutely. It's incredible. The biggest stage with the brightest lights, and you did it. Plenty of slope and accuracy. Catsy had a couple sticks. You took full advantage, sitting in second place right now. How you feeling? What's it like being here in Milwaukee?
It feels awesome. This is a great venue, and appreciate everybody coming out to watch, and let's let her rip.
All right, keep going. Big round of applause. Aaron Hovis, what a cut.
Let's look at this run from Aaron Hovis. Almost too much downslope. You can see the downward hits just like raking down from the rafters. That's the opposite problem that we normally see, but it sets him up with a great backside to blow out through. Little bit of a hang up there on the near side, reaches to the far side, drives off. Anytime you take down Cassidy Shear in a standing block chop, you've done something.
Aaron Hovis, the man from Marquand, Missouri, southeast Missouri, taking over the second place spot right behind Arden Koger with an 18.89. Cassidy Shear more than a second behind him. Third place with a 1996 officially.
When I was the underdog winning, you just throw your hands skyward and you just take it all in. And I just love it. I feel what he's feeling watching Hovis like that. It was awesome. Same thing happened with our girl. I'm all out of it. Who was our standing block champion? Lauren Bergman yesterday had me amped up. It's awesome. Oh, it's going by fast. This is our final heat already in the standing block chop. Josh Wilson and Jason Lentz. Charleston, West Virginia. Morgantown, West Virginia versus
for our
Diana,
final standing block chop heat here. Josh Wilson from West Virginia. Stand number 1, stand number 2, our defending champion. Jason Lentz started the standing block chop with Jason Lentz. A 1-point deficit in overall points to Cassidy Shear. We're looking for both of these guys to lay down a fast time.
Well, I mentioned there's certain guys in certain disciplines that just, I don't know, bring it to a new level.
Athletes ready.
I love watching Jason Lentz cut standing block.
Timber.
He is just a monster, driving off at the end of the block. Here he goes, 1-1, chases those corners, goes into a 2-2 pattern. Josh Wilson in the background, though, has a huge back face. He's around as well. I don't think he reached quite as far as he'd want to on that last up hit. Watch Jason Lentz as he goes into drivers. One more on to do it. There it is. 18s, says Jason Lentz. I'll see your 18 and show you a 16.44. Tommy, in my mind, I was giving that heat to Jason. I'm kind of surprised a little bit by Josh Wilson that time. I thought he'd be a little bit quicker, and I'm sure Josh Wilson thought he'd be a little quicker too.
Nice job, gentlemen. Both cuts are good.
Great cut, Jason. Awesome. You know, we talk about your standing block. You've been chopping since you were a kid, 4th generation. You've earned a spot on the United States relay team, cutting the final standing block. You've won the Champions Trophy, that relay event. The log, to me, I've seen you cut them faster. Basically, the logs, they vary. So you've got to make that quick choice, don't you, in the backside?
Yeah, that log had a bit of sapwood, Dave, and this morning we're allowed to test our axes and our footholds of our underhand, and mine didn't have that much sapwood, but we tested out back, and yeah, just the sapwood held me up a little bit, was bitey on the axe.
Great job. You won the standing block. You're leading in steel points. A lot of money. John Deere Gator on the line. So much happened. That's all going to happen tomorrow, but you still have 3 events. Stay focused, buddy, and good luck.
Thank you.
Let's look at this run from Jason Lentz. We're nearly complete with the front side of this log already. Beautiful finish there. You can just see that's like a hardwood gym floor on the bottom face of that block. Each hit chasing the next one in. That last up hit slicing those far fibers. Comes around to the backside of this log, and he's going to go into this driving pattern in the back with those downward blows trying to come through into the fresh air. You can see at that point the block broke the grain, punched it in the guts one more time on the backside, comes off as our leader, our champion in the standing block event.
Official time for Jason Lentz is 16.20, easily taking top points. The standing block chop, Arden Koger Jr. is going to wind up in the 2nd spot with Aaron Hovis coming in 3rd place right there. So that's the way it stood after our 3rd discipline of the day. Our overall points, though, is the main part of the story. You have to be in the top 4 at the end of the day, and that's the way it stacks up now with Lentz, Shear, Wilson, and Hovis. Hovis, the first man in. Adam Lefko, the first man out right now. So we've got a lot of things moving here. If you're outside that top 4, you got to really get down and grind hard for these last 3 disciplines here. But Jason Lentz with a 2-point lead over Cassidy Shear at the top. We'll be coming right back with the single buck momentarily.
The pursuit of the perfect cut continues with our full line of steel mows. From gas or battery to 0 turns and push mowers, join the pursuit and find your perfect cut. 0% financing available for qualified buyers. Real Steel. Find yours.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Your local Ace is the largest national retailer of steel power tools. Gas or battery, you won't find this full lineup at a warehouse store. You can find it at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own 2 hands.
Great to have everyone with us here for our live coverage from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in the STIHL Timbersports 2024 semi-final day. The action coming up. We are continuing into our 4th discipline of the day, the single buck. Dave Jewett with the introduction.
First heat of the single buck. Let's bring him out. Tom Lancaster versus Mike Esch.
Going to be Tom Lancaster, stand number 1. Mike Esch on stand number 2 in this first heat of the single buck competition.
Well, out of all of our disciplines, this is the one that's probably seen the most change in the past few years. If you joined us and you're fans of the sport and you've been around for a few years, you know that there used to be a helper on the stage. They would help pick the saw up, get it in the cut, get you started. During the event, they'd run a wedge. They would spray a lubricant on the saw, et cetera, et cetera. Well, first they took away the lubricant. Then they took away the wedge and the second helper. Now they have a 1-minute time limit to come out, get your starter cut set, get your feet in place, and have everything ready to go. So these guys really are under the gun. I mean, back in the day, you go back into like the 80s and 90s, and this used to be like a 15-minute process.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
These
it could
guys
go
to
on
come out,
interminably.
Yeah. Pounding foot blocks and draw pictures.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go.
Both these guys with very similar starts. Mike Esch, a hang-up, though, on stand number 2. He looked great. He was very quick off the start and then maybe shifted his angle a little bit. Turbo Tom Lancaster not waiting around for anybody, just motoring through the bottom of that block. Ends on a pole stroke around that 13-second mark.
That is going to be Tom's best performance of the day here in the single buck. And despite all the new constraints, Kevin, a miracle happened. They both were able to make a successful cut.
We'll get
Both cuts are good.
Can you just get that saw back? Yeah. Can you just get it back?
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
Tom, great cut. Tom Lancaster, you and I were actually talking about the single buck right before you went. You had some videos online. We said it looked good, could be better, but you have to have the gear, and you just had your saw refiled. Did you just get it back? Talk about it.
Yeah, I just got that saw back from Brad Turner from KBT. I put like 5 cuts on it this last weekend at Mark Boquinn's house. Kind of broken in a little bit, and it's running great.
Absolutely. Sudi, you saw cut great, 13 seconds, and you really pulled a long saw. The cut you put online kind of seemed like short strokes. It looked like you stepped back, used the whole saw, the whole belly of the saw. It was an absolutely phenomenal cut, Tom.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I actually took your advice, scooted back a little bit so I wasn't so bunched up in the middle of the wood, and yeah, it felt great.
Great job. Big round of applause, Tom Lancaster.
Well, here's a look at that run from Tom Lancaster, and for me, the most interesting part was the end of this run. I think this disc actually dropped before he thought he did.
What?
He ended up finishing on a pole stroke, and right at the bottom, when this disc comes off, you'll see some little feathers, some splinters of wood sticking out the bottom of the log because it technically kind of broke at the end. So some of you may be thinking that's an incomplete disc. There it is right there. You can see those little fibers, little tongue depressors sticking out of the bottom of that log. That is, though, and the judge looked at it, uncuttable wood. That wood would not support the saw if he put the saw back up and tried to make the cut. So, therefore, he gets a complete time. That is considered a complete disc. No DQ, no penalty.
Well, that time officially a 13.09 for Thomas Lancaster. Again, his best performance of the day, sits in the top spot. Mike Esch, his official time of 17.41.
Helps each other out. We all help each other with chopping and sawing. I'm fortunate enough to have had a good career in the single buck, so a lot of the athletes, I coach them. And some of them, the big word is coachable. Some, they want to listen, but they got better ideas. Some, you can just show them this is how you stroke the saw. This is how it works. This is how the saw works. And they just do it immediately. So that conversation I had with Tom, to see him execute exactly what we talked about, that's a coachable athlete. That's a dangerous athlete. All right, second heat of the single buck. Let's bring them out. Adam Lefko and Aaron Hovis. Aaron Hovis. Coming off a third place in the standing block drop, having a heck of a day.
Second heat of the single buck coming up now. It's going to be Adam Lefko, stand number 1, going up against Aaron Hovis. Aaron Hovis getting the better so far today of Adam Lethko in terms of overall points. It'll be a very close one down to the end, probably at the end of this Pool A competition. You got to be in the top 4 if you want to advance to the finals, to the championship round.
Yeah, Tommy, these two are busting my bracket right now.
Yeah, they are. A little bit. A little bit they are.
I shook up the Magic 8 Ball as I always do at the start of this pool, and nothing against one or the other, but I had these two guys in first in my mind as far as where they'd be sitting. And we've got more disciplines to go. We've got the hot saw for Adam Lethko, of course, coming up towards the end, but I had these two guys in first. So good on Aaron Hovis, and Adam Lethko may have a little extra fire in his belly here for this single buck event.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both these guys off and running. You can see here Aaron Hovis, our lefty, out there on stage as these guys end up kind of back-to-back on stands 1 and 2. Lethko putting on a clinic, though, pushes it off just ahead of Aaron Hovis, showing like a mid-14s for Adam Lethko. That may have been that little fire in the belly. He's got to try to grab a few STIHL Timbersports points over top of Aaron Hovis if he wants to get just inside that bubble.
Both cuts are good.
Put your lights right there in the orange. Yep. Yep, right there. Adam, who's down here? Who's down here shooting video?
That'd be my beautiful wife right there of 10 years.
You're having a heck of a day. I love it. You know, you're not one of the tallest athletes, but you pull the whole saw. I know you train. Yeah, no, you don't, buddy. You're in great shape. I know you say you're traveling about 40,000 miles a year. How difficult is that to balance out your job and the timber sports training?
Well, I haven't figured it out yet if that answers the question. But, you know, it's just reaching a different season in my life where I'm not able to concentrate on the sport as my number one priority. Now I got work and family in there. And I think I got my priorities straight, and I just got to figure out how to handle this side of it now.
I love it. We want to see you in the finals tomorrow. You just did your job. Great job. Adam Lethko. We want to see him again tomorrow. We want to see him cut that springboard again. But here's the start in the single block, running the whole saw. No hang-ups at all.
Well, here's that run from Adam Lethko. I mentioned that he's not where I thought he would be in points, and I guarantee you he knows he's not where he wants to be in points. Adam Lethko, we talk about running this entire saw. Well, nothing on Lethko, but he doesn't have the arm and leg length that some of our other athletes do, so he's really got to throw that torso in there and engage every core muscle in that body to run that beautiful Tuatahi saw.
Adam Lethko getting the better of the heat there. His official time, 14.39, has him in second place behind Thomas Lancaster in that 13.09. Right behind Lethko, though, his opponent there, Aaron Hovis, 15.16. And a personal best for Aaron Hovis.
Third heat of the single buck, Arden Koger Jr. versus your local boy from Hayward, Wisconsin, Cassidy Shear.
Here we go. Should be a good matchup. Arden Koger Jr. going up against Cassidy Shear, the former champion here back in 2019. Arden Koger with 3 U.S. championships in his belt through his long career. 3 decades worth of achievement out here in the STIHL Timbersports Series. Arden having an up and down day. The down part was a DQ in the stock saw. He's been trying to fight back from that since the second discipline of the day.
Well, Tommy, this is a great heat to point out that 1 minute time limit that these competitors have. You see Cassidy Shear brings out an entire scaffolding network, a template, a jig, if you will, foot placement is so critical, and also solid footing, not having your feet slide around, absolutely essential. Cassidy Shear, his creative solution to this problem is bring a framework that he literally screws down to the deck.
Athletes
just
ready.
Barely under that 1 minute mark.
To your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Notice the difference in start between Arden Coger Jr., Cassidy Shear. Arden starting on a little bit of a push stroke, then gets into a normal stroke. Cassidy Shear absolutely extending every inch of that saw. You see the nose of the saw disappear, bangs the handle, breaks the cookie a little bit. Should be fine though, because again, you go back to the whole rule about cuttable timber. Cassidy Shear should be fine. Cassidy Shear coming on around 13 seconds flat. May have a new leader as long as that time holds.
Locking your feet into the deck, total full body, especially with the legs. If you get done with this event, Dave, and your arms are sore, you're doing it wrong. It's all core, it's a leg-driven event. Well, and I bet you if you ask Arden Coger Jr. right now if his arms are sore after that, he would say absolutely. He had no base in that event with that knee injury, but I'm telling you, 14 seconds to be able to muscle like that, he's got to be happy with that time. It's very valuable.
Both cuts are good.
We'll get a quick interview with Cassidy after he disassembles his platform. But, you know, I'm watching Cassidy. We're going to talk to Cassidy. Here he comes. Cassidy, great cut in the single. Here we go again. Home Depot. Cassidy, great cut in the single buck. Talk about that very, very level, and you maintain some of the athletes, as they saw, they start level, but then it gets steeper and steeper. You maintain, kind of like running the stock saw. You keep that bar at the same plane. You did the same thing in the single buck. A great cut. How did you feel it went?
I mean, it was okay. I'm sure you saw it. I was healing it a little bit.
I was debating whether I'm going to tell you. I was going to tell you that after the interview, but
yeah, no, that was not a great cut. That was not a Dave Jewett cut. I know where I can lighten up and extend a bit more, loosen the hands. I can take a second and a half off that cut easy.
Yeah, what Cassidy means when he heals it, he means he's on the push stroke. He's trying to cut the far wood, but then the near teeth slam into the near wood. From your view, it looks like progress, but it throws off the whole way that saw is calibrated. So you saw it.
Oh, yeah, I saw it. I felt it. I mean, I short stroked it a couple pushes. And yeah, I mean, that's a beautiful saw. Mike Sullivan just stoned it. That saw is capable of 2 seconds faster.
Great time, great self-recognition of that cut. Good job, Cassidy Shear. Big steel points in the lead in the single buck.
Let's have a look at that run from Cassidy Shear as he starts with a huge pole stroke, draws the nose all the way back into the block, handled nearly to the wood, using every tooth as he goes through there. You can see, though, he starts to get a little bit aggressive as he's rolling the heel down there in the top third of the log. He's got to get that sorted out. Not getting as much of that far wood as he would like as he's coming down through the log. There you see at the very end of that cut where he slams the handle in, breaks that cookie. But again, in terms of STIHL Timbersports, there was no cuttable wood there. There may have been a few toothpicks or fibers sticking out, but it is going to be a good time.
Not a perfect cut by Cassidy Shear's definition there. 12.95, though, is going to be good enough to take over the top spot. He could take home the 8 points, but that all depends on what happens in the final heat of the single buck, and that is coming right up here.
He'll make the adjustment tomorrow. Let's go another heat in the single buck. It's our final heat, too. The two highest ranked single buckers, Josh Wilson and Jason Lentz.
Marquee matchup in the single buck here with the time to beat of 12.95 for Cassidy Shear. Joshua Wilson will be on stand number 1. On stand number 2, Jason Lentz, the defending champion from 2023.
Now, this is going to be a race, Tommy. This will be a really exciting run for these two guys. I love watching them both. But I love when they get matched up head-to-head in the single buck saw.
No disrespect to Josh Wilson, and I'm talking to Jason this
may have seen in the start of their setup process, Josh Wilson and also Arden Coker Jr. come out with a small little torpedo level that has a magnet in the back of it. They are literally trying to get that saw as plumb as possible. You want to take, there's two reasons. Number one, you want to take the shortest path down through that wood, as absolute vertical as possible down through that log. You also want that saw, that metal plate, to be as vertical as possible. If it leans over a couple of degrees as the blade comes out, it's going to lay over to the side and start thwapping and wagging his tail going back into the log.
3, 2, 1, go!
Josh Wilson with a little bit of that short stroke start, much like Arden Coker Jr. Look at the cut, though, on stand number 2. Jason Lentz, every inch of that saw all the way through the bottom. A 12-1-8 showing for Jason Lentz.
Both cuts are good.
Yeah. Well, you know, big round of applause for Josh Wilson as well. A hell of a cut, Josh. Great cut, buddy. It's got to be tough, though, going against the big guy, Jason Lentz. Jason, 260 last year. You slimmed down to 245. How does that feel? Does that affect your strength at all? And you are tearing up the single buck this year. I love it.
Yeah, I want to thank JP Mercier and my old man. He works on saws a bit too. It wasn't for, I think there's only 4 or 5 saw filers in the entire world, so hats off to those guys. You know, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to put up a time like that.
You were able to test your saws out here on the stage prior to the competition today, and your eyes were so big, you said there was only so many strokes and you had cut past the halfway mark. What confidence going into that? It has to be kind of fun once in a while, knowing you've got the gear, you've done the training, you've done your homework, let's just execute it in front of this big crowd.
Yeah, we only had about half a log. There was a blemish in the log, our test log this morning, so I really didn't get a test as much as I wanted to. Because once I got past halfway in that log, the wood kind of bound on the saw and slowed me up a little bit. But other than that, still pretty good time.
And, of course, if you hit a knot, it will just break all the points off on those $4,000 saws, and you're out of luck. So you appreciate the good wood that they bring here from Athens, West Virginia, right?
Yeah, definitely appreciate it. Mike Sling, Brian Walmsley, Nathan Waterfield, you guys, hats off.
Underhand chop coming up. Big round of applause. Jason Lentz coming all the way from Diana, West Virginia.
Let's have a look at this run from the leaner and perhaps even meaner Jason Lentz. What's interesting, Tommy, is the Pool B, Pool C competitors, they're all out in the stands watching. Guys like Matt Koger, Matty Slingerland, Nate Hodges, our top athletes are watching, and they are watching a former champion claw his way back. This was an exceptional run from Jason Lentz, and these guys are watching. They're taking notes.
That is a personal best for Jason Lentz right there. He takes the top points with an 11.98. Josh Wilson, their second place in the heat, second place in the points for the single buck with a 12.80. Cassidy Shear's time of 12.95. It's good enough for third place. Let's take a look at the overall points. Now, Lentz on top opened up a 5-point lead over Cassidy Shear. Now, fourth and fifth, that's the big one right there. Adam Lethko has swapped out with Aaron Hovis. Lethko is in, Hovis is out, and at the bottom, we have to let you know, this time around, in the pools, there will be relegation. If you finish final in the last spot in your pool, you will not get to come back next year. More on that later. We'll be right back.
What drives us may be different, but what we share is the pursuit. Whether taken on the job site or your own backyard, let the pursuit of the perfect cut begin. STIHL zero-turn mowers are here. Right now, get 0% financing plus up to a $1,500 instant rebate on select STIHL zero-turn mowers. Real STIHL.
Your local Ace is the largest national retailer of steel power tools. Gas or battery, you won't find this full lineup at a warehouse store. You can find it at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Beautiful day here in Milwaukee. We're so glad to have you with us. Our live coverage continues of the U.S. Men's Semifinal Competitions 2024 STIHL TIMBERSPORTS Championship weekend here. Now, a lot of stuff going on, but right now we are getting close to the end of his. This is overall standings with two disciplines left right here. Jason Lentz, our defending champion, on top with 30 points, opening up a 5-point lead over Cassidy Shear. Now, 4th and 5th are very, very important. Adam Lethko would be in if it ended right now. You have to be in the top 4 if you want to continue until tomorrow's final. Aaron Hobus, the first man out. So we will talk about that and a lot more developments on the way. Back down to Dave Jewett to get things going in the underhand chop.
First heat of the underhand chop, Tom Lancaster and Adam Lethko. Tom Lancaster coming off that beautiful single block fight.
Going to be Tom Lancaster on stand number 1. Tom Lancaster had a good run there in the single buck, his best performance of the day. A little bit earlier, Adam Lethko, his opponent. Adam Lethko has moved up into the top 4, as we just mentioned, in overall points. That is very critical. You have to be at that point at the end of this pool competition if you want to gain the final.
Plates ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both these guys at very critical points of the day. As you mentioned, Tommy, Lethko just inside the top 4 and would advance if everything ended right now. Tom Lancaster's currently sitting in that last place, relegated at this point if things ended right now.
Right.
Would not be invited back next year. Wouldn't be able to come back to STIHL Timbersports until 2026. So this is an interesting situation for both of these guys. Lancaster, it looks like he may be driving off first. There it is.
Yeah.
Lethko with trouble in the bottom of this block. Axe hanging. I don't know if he did enough work in the front side of this block. Time just ticking away for Lethko. This is just painful for Adam Lethko on stand number 2. I don't know what went wrong on the front side of that log.
Both cuts are good.
Great cut, Tom. Great cut, especially coming off the single buck. Boy, you turned in about 12 seconds. Looked like you had some trouble in the back. Where were you missing the chip hits in the back? What was holding there? Couldn't tell from my view. What did you see?
Yeah, I feel like I maybe could have taken another one-on-one on my bottom wood on the front side. I think I should have done more work on the front. That's where I think I messed up.
So that one-on-one means a driver low, a chip hit, and just relieves that wood. Because unlike the standing, you really can't see that wood down there, can you?
Right, yeah, you know, and I thought I drove it enough, but I think another chip hit on the front would have saved me on the back.
All right, buddy, hot saw coming up. Big round of applause, Tom Lancaster. Great underhand chop in the lead.
Tom Lancaster maybe taking out a little bit of a loan on the front side of this log. Had to pay it back on the back side. Didn't quite clear out all the wood he needed to on the front side of this log, but does a great job cutting through on the back. Adam Lefko, I don't know what went wrong on the front side of this log, but he had a ton of work to do on the back side of the block, coming in the mid 40 seconds for Adam Lefko. That is a tough break for the guy who was just inside the bubble. Leaves the door wide open for folks like Aaron Hovis, Arden Koger Jr. to sneak up in there and dethrone Adam Lefko.
Yeah, this is definitely painful to watch. Lefko, as you mentioned there, Kevin, is the man just inside the cut when we started this underhand competition.
Yeah, top of the log.
Precarious enough to start with.
Right. Top of the log, he is through, and he's looking to drive, and he just goes into a series of driving blows with no productive movement in timber.
Not a very productive score there, except in producing a lot of seconds. 46 of them there is going to be very, very tough to come back from. Tom Lancaster, official time, 29:48. Though bear in mind that Adam Lefko, world record holder in our final event of the day, the hot saw.
Second heat of the underhand chop, Mike Ash versus Arden Koger Jr.
Matchup here, two veterans here, are two Ironmen of the U.S. Championships, to be sure, with more than 30 appearances between the two of them. Mike Esch on stand number 1 and Arden Koger Jr. on stand number 2. Mike Esch, the IT man, internet technology man, Coatesville, Pennsylvania, and Arden Koger Jr., the practicing attorney, trial attorney from West Virginia.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
This is just going to be a fun one to watch. These two have been cutting against each other literally for decades. The technician, Mike Esch on the left, the fastest swing speed in the underhand, Arden Koger Jr. on the right. He is around quick. Axe hanging a bit on those opening blows on the second side of the log. That just absolutely saps your momentum. Mike Esch, beautiful wide open face on the second side of this log. Koger driving, it's not, there it goes. So it's not shifting there. Mike Esch just about 2 blows behind.
Both cuts are good.
I'll get a quick word with Junior here. I love the transition into the backside, but you have to hit your mark. Looks like that speed, the turn from the back to the front, you hit. Did you have to take a re-hit? Did you hit your line? Talk about that.
I don't have my weight centered on my legs, so I'm standing more on my left foot, and so I'm off centered. And so I did my best to make up for it, but unfortunately, it wasn't performed properly. So I'll take it for what it's worth.
All right, buddy, we want to see you in the top 4 moving on till tomorrow. Jamie Koger in the lead in the underhand chop of the hot saw coming up. Big round of applause coming all the way from Charleston.
Let's take a look at that turn from Arden Koger Jr. as he wraps up his work on the first side of the log. Helicopter-style turn, but he punches it in the guts off to the side. So then he's got to come back and reshoot that where it needed to be. So he actually put 3 hits in on the one side. That was not how that turn should have gone. But for a bum knee and 3 decades in the sport, he put together a good chop, and he's currently sitting at top of the pool in the underhand chop.
Hey, I look at that helicopter there, and I'd say it's a pretty spry move, if you ask me there, despite the years, despite the wear and the tear. And Arden Koger Jr. on top of our standings now, his official time, a 27.46. Right ahead of Thomas Lancaster, Mike Esch, 3rd place, and Adam Lefko in 4th. 46 seconds even.
Yeah, Adam, I'll tell you who's not happy with that cut, and that's Adam Lesko.
Absolutely.
Because he left the window wide open for Hovis, Koger, the rest of the field, and Arden Koger just made a statement right there.
Now they're paired up again. Let's bring them out, Aaron Hovis and Cassidy Shear.
All right, a lot of stuff riding on this one right here. Aaron Hovis trying to maintain his spot in the top 4 so he can go on to championship day here. 2024 STIHL Timbersports U.S. Championships going up against Cassidy Shear. Cassidy Shear certainly making a play, well, at least for a while he was, as being the top finisher in Pool A. Looking pretty good to make the move to the finals, but he has dropped back 5 points before we started this underhand chop to our defending champion.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
And that's all well and good, Tommy, but forget about stand number 2 right now. The man you're going to be watching is stand number 1, Aaron Hovis. He is just outside the bubble. He is chopping to advance from semifinals to finals. Cassidy Shear, yeah, he may have slipped a bit to Jason, but that'll happen. Clean the rough edges, and we'll come back tomorrow and do it again.
Sure.
Aaron Hovis, if he doesn't complete this underhand chop in a timely manner, he may not get to come back tomorrow.
Yeah, he needs to get it done as fast as possible. There we go. All right. Let's see what happens.
Both cuts are good.
In the bottom, I'm going to talk to Cassidy here real quick. Cassidy, dude, putting on a clinic here today in Milwaukee. Dude, you're feeling it. No mullet. I like the business in the front. Talk to me about that cut, bud.
Yeah, that was a decent, safe cut. I've been moneyballing the points back there. I saw the wood came out hard. Wanted to cut conservatively. I overcut it a little bit. But, yeah, that felt good. And I'm having a great time. Should we do a yo-ho together, Dave?
I think we should. Do you guys want to do a yo-ho with us? All right, on 3. 1, 2, 3. Yo-ho! Give it up for Cassidy Shear, your winner. Or you hit that heat of the underhand chop.
Well, this is all a momentum gain for Cassidy Shear. Look at the snap that he puts behind that axe as he puts just a ton of recoil in his body and draws that axe into the log. Aaron Hovis needed a better performance in this underhand chop. He is running out of opportunities to pick up points. Cassidy Shear, again, just building momentum as we roll downhill through semifinals day, and that just builds confidence. This is a learning game right now for Cassidy Shear as he is he's a juggernaut into the finals at this point.
Champ from 2019 getting it done, getting a few yo-hos from the locals here. He's the son of the state of Wisconsin, so a big favorite here in Milwaukee. Takes over the top spot with that time of 23.18. And Aaron Hovis with 31.87 had an opportunity to put some space between himself and Adam Lethko. There is no space between the two right now, but a lot will depend on how things go the remainder of the day. But you got to be in the top 4. That's the whole story here.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars of equipment out back today, and you're going to hear them warming up. But again, one more heat in the underhand chop. Let's bring them out. The 4th heat of the underhand chop, Josh Wilson and Jason Lentz.
Final heat of the underhand chop. Defending champion, 2-time champion here in Milwaukee. Jason Lentz on stand 2. Stand 1, that's Josh Wilson of West Virginia. Definitely established himself in top tier, made good many appearances in the finals. working his way through the pools. He knows how this game is played.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
I love the start from Jason Lentz. He is in perfect sequence with the starting cadence. Just lays that axe into the block right on go. As he turns into the backside of this log, he's going to open 2 and 2. This is big timber. You've got to span that axe well, and he is throwing an absolute snow shovel of an axe in there. Look at the hit speed from Josh Wilson over on stand number 1. Jason Lentz coming in. Oh, Wilson off right on his heels. Wilson put in a big front face on that log because he really didn't have to put a whole lot of effort into the second side of it. Jason Lentz is showing why he belongs to be back on that number 1 podium. He too is looking ahead to the finals tomorrow.
Both cuts are good.
You have that 9-inch with you? Jason was testing this axe out back. Most of the axes used are 7.5 inches. He had a 9-inch wide axe he was using this morning. He said, "No, Dave, maybe in the final tomorrow." Talk about that heat. Talk about that underhand chop. And well, you had this facial expression when you came off the log. What was behind that?
Man, there in the back, my left hand hits got away from me a little bit. But I cleaned them up on the next round. Probably cost me like 4 hits, but that wood was pretty firm, you know, so yeah, come away with a win, I think, so not bad.
You better get back there. The guys, they're warming up without you. They're not even waiting around. How disrespectful, Jason. Get back there, get your hot sauce started up. I think he's won the underhand chop.
Here's that run. We see Jason Lentz in the near ground, Josh Wilson in the far side. It is cliche in this sport to say first to turn is not always first to finish. It was the case today, though, but I tell you what, Josh Wilson really did a job on the front side of this log. Just shoveled out a ton of timber and finished the backside way quicker than I thought. I thought Josh had probably 2 more blows on the backside of this block, but he was only about a blow or 2 behind Jason Lentz.
Well, Jason Lentz says, "That's not bad, okay," but that's a great time. 22.32 gives him top points in the underhand chop. Cassidy Shear able to hang in there in second place. Josh Wilson, his time of 24.72 got him in third place right there. So now we're going to take a look at the overall points. That's the big story here. Toward the top of the leaderboard, Jason Lentz extending his lead over Cassidy Shear by a single point from 5 points to 6 points right there. Josh Wilson in third. And look at that, Arden Koger has moved up into fourth place. Aaron Hovis had an opportunity with Adam Letko falling down that to do something big there, but Aaron Koger, they left the window open for Aaron, and he used it to move himself into the number 4 spot. That's where he wants to finish that day, number 4th or better. But we got the hot saw coming up, and we know what all can happen in that unpredictable event. We will get the big saws running here just in a minute.
The pursuit of the perfect cut continues with our full line of STIHL mowers. From gas or battery to zero turns and push mowers, join the pursuit and find your perfect cut. 0% financing available for qualified buyers. Real STIHL. Find yours.
Let's roll, let's go.
When we work in harmony, anything is possible.
Your local Ace is the largest national retailer of STIHL power tools. Gas or battery, you won't find this full lineup at a warehouse store. You can find it at Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Duluth Trading Company was born from generations who showed us that the only way to live life is to live it hands-on.
To do it the hard way. To take the trail untrodden. To take the damn thing apart, put it back together, and have the world be better for it.
We don't think that the go all in, dig deep, and get your hands dirty spirit exists in everybody.
We know it does. Duluth Trading. Take on life with your own two hands.
Our live coverage of the semifinals. STIHL Timbersports 24 U.S. men's semifinals here. Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A beautiful day up here. German Fest is going strong. We got a lot of storylines. We have 6 disciplines today in our first Pool A competition. Here's our overall standings as it stands going into the final discipline. Jason Lentz, our defending champion, on top with a 6-point lead over Cassidy Shearer. That's one important thing right there. Spot number 4, position 4, that's the last spot that gets in to the finals from this competition here today. Arden Koger on top, Aaron Hoveth in 5th place just outside. And Tom Lancaster in danger of not being able to come back next year if he finishes in the last spot. That's what happens to him. But now we're going to get it all solved by this one here, the event that provides us with plenty of plot twists.
Hot saw. For the hot saw, power saws are called into action, and the athletes have a space of 15 centimeters to cut 3 complete discs off a 46 centimeter thick wooden block. Jumping the start or cutting over the line will result in a disqualification.
As we prepare for the hot saw, it takes a little extra preparation here. Let's take a look at how our heats are going to shape up here. 8 competitors, 4 heats. Tom Lancaster going against Aaron Hoveth in heat number 1. Arden Koger Jr., Josh Wilson, heat number 2. Cassidy Shearer, Mike Esch in heat 3. Defending champion Jason Lentz and Adam Lethko in heat number 4.
Yeah, Tommy, I'm going down through these heats, and I like to, I'm really curious about this race. Each one of these heats has a consequential element to it. Tom Lancaster is currently sitting at the bottom of the pile. He is 3 points outside of Mike Esch. He needs to do better than Mike Esch if he doesn't want to be relegated and wants to come back next year. Aaron Hoveth just outside the bubble. If he wants to get in, well, he's got to get in. Arden Koger in heat 2 is just inside the bubble and desperately wants to stay there. Mike Esch in heat number 3 is currently second from last and in the crosshairs of Tom Lancaster. He's got to go. Jason Lentz, he's on cruise control. He's doing a practice run, getting ready for tomorrow. Adam Lethko, he's a honey badger right now.
That's right.
That guy, after his underhand chop, is backed into the corner. He is 2 positions out of where he wants to be, and there are very few people, current active timber sports, retired timber sports, that I would ever want to rely on the hot saw. Hot saw Harry Burnsworth, Mike Sullivan, Adam Lethko. I would not back that man into a corner with a hot saw. He can still cut his way back into the top 4.
Absolutely. He has proven that. One more look at the overall standings and take it down to Dave Jewett for our introductions to the hot saw heat 1.
Leaking fuel. He's going to run it anyway. There's a blown gasket. The fuel is spilling out. But that's what happens. That's hot saw.
Hot saw in heat 1. On position 1, we have Tom Lancaster. On position 2, Aaron Hoveth.
Well, we know the story about Tom Lancaster. He's a candidate for relegation. That's how you keep the new blood moving into any sport. As you have to let the bottom performers out, the new ones in. And sport of lumberjack sports are no different. If he does not do well here, if he does not improve his plot over his nearest competitor, Mike Esch, by 3 positions, he will be in that relegation position. So this is a very critical run for Thomas Lancaster.
Did himself a lot of good in that underhand chop.
Warm up
Boy,
your
did he really like this.
He sure did. Going up against Aaron Hovis. Aaron Hovis, he's got to do well too, man. He has got to get back up into that top 4. Arden Koger knocked him out over the course of the underhand chop there. Aaron Hovis, man from Missouri, has not made the finals yet in his career. Nothing better to be
30 seconds.
Competing for the final championship. Make the top 4 spots in Pool A.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both competitors up to the timber. Aaron Hovis with a very fast run coming together. 6.28 showing. Tom Lancaster, though, with difficulty. This is not what Turbo Tom needed. 13-17 showing on the board, but a little bit of a head tip from Tom Lancaster. I don't think he's got a complete disc. I think he thinks he doesn't have a complete disc. At this point, Tom Lancaster really has to look for Mike Esch to DQ.
Yeah, I mean, that's his only way out.
If Tom Lancaster didn't just DQ. Oh, it's never good when they call the boss in.
No. Saw Aaron Hovis looking anxiously at the line he couldn't cut over when he finished his.
Okay, your
cuts.
cut was good. DQ, cut the line.
That is just absolute heartbreak for Tom Lancaster. Of course, last year he went out in the very...
Aaron, thin. 3 thin discs. It was beautiful. There's so much wood left up there. You're doing an easy job for the stage crew, making it easy for them. I saw when you finished, your 3 discs were laying there, and you paused and you looked at them. Well, you had to be looking to say, are they complete? If I fire that saw up, it's game over. What was going through your mind?
Yeah, so as I was making that upcut, it looked really thin, but it felt like I was cutting everything. But whenever that disc rolled off, I didn't want to shut that saw off without knowing that all 3 were all the way there. It looked like it was close enough to risk it. If they weren't all there and I would go ahead and make another cut, it'd be a good time, but it'd be really slow. So I went ahead and left it like it was, and luckily it was a good cut.
Well, just a great day overall. We're hoping to see you in the top 4. There's nothing else you can do. Sit back and watch. Maybe get yourself one of this great German beer here. Great job. Big round of applause for Aaron Hovis. That was a hell of a standing block you had here earlier. Great job.
Thank you very much. Incredibly blessed to be here, and thank you everybody for coming out.
Let's go back and have a look at that run from Tom Lancaster. See all 4 fingers of each hand clearly over that line, ready to go. A bit thick on this first disc. That's about as much timber as you can allow on the first disc. Very thin on the start of this second one. Saw bobbles a bit, and you can see how crooked he is as he comes up through. Leaves him very little timber at the top of the log to start this cut, and he is just trying to sneak that saw in through and get a clean cut. There's stand number 2, Aaron Hovis at the other edge of the stage. Thin to win. Look at these things. These are crackers falling off the end of this log. Absolutely dialed in. Nice straight cuts, nice thin cuts, and 3 complete discs for Aaron Hovis. You can see he does stand there for a minute. He's got that saw running still, just making sure, kind of checking inventory, if you will, making sure he had 3 clean cuts.
3 clean cuts was part of the job he had to do, and he achieved that. Aaron Hovis still in this thing. His time of 6:20, pretty darn competitive in the overall picture here. So Aaron Hovis getting the job done for now. It's all up here. Depends on what happens in the remaining 3 heats of the hot saw we have coming up here. Very close to starting time, close to the time when we will meet our next 2 competitors.
Second heat of the hot saw, Arden Koger Jr. and Josh Wilson.
Arden Koger Jr., Josh Wilson right there. Arden Koger had moved himself into the 4th position. That's where he wants to be at the end of the day. Much behoove him to make a good 3 cuts. Lay down a time here and make it a competitive time if possible. Arden Koger Jr., personal best in the hot saw, a 6.9 and change. Going up against Josh Wilson. Personal best 6.12 here. Josh Wilson, good standing now, but you definitely don't want to DQ. Get all the preparations ready here, all the different moving parts these guys have got to have in place. Got to remember every little detail, every little bit of protocol. Everyone's got a routine to get set for this fastest seconds in timber sports, I guess you could call it.
Yeah, we like to call it the launch protocol, the launch procedure.
All right, yeah, like NASA.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like ignition, clear for launch. Fuel, clear for launch. Oiler, clear for launch. You just got to go through all of this
Warm
stuff
up your saws.
I also had to laugh, Tommy. I was watching the saws come out, or the saws were sitting on the stage before the competitors came out, and I looked at that saw right there, that beautiful black and red machine. That's a Lemke-built, Rotax-powered hot saw. That's from my generation.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. That was the meat of it.
I had one of those, and they're just such a reliable workhorse. And in my head, I'm going, who's running the Lemke machine? That's awesome. Go figure. One of our most seasoned, exceptional professionals, Arden Koger Jr., is coming out to pilot that machine, and how fitting a very classic, reliable, awesome performing saw and a classic, reliable, awesome performing operator.
And a critical cut for him as well here. Do a lot to decide whether he makes it to the finals.
Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Both saws light. Josh Wilson. Trouble on both stands. I can't even keep up with all this stuff. It is just absolute chaos out here. Holy cow. Come on. There's only so much timber up there. And there goes the line.
I think that was it.
Holy cow.
Wow.
I was about to say how absolutely blazingly fast Josh Wilson was through the wood, and then stuff started falling apart on his side of the stage. I was about to talk about stuff falling apart on his side of the stage, and then everything goes to just absolute dumpster fire mode on stand number 1 for Arden Koger Jr. And this goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. This is a discipline that I would never, me personally, would never want to rely on to dig myself out of a points deficit. And there's a very small handful of competitors that I would say ever should rely on this discipline.
All right, much examination and gnashing of teeth here. Let's see what the final verdict is for Rich Howell.
Your cut was good. DQ, cut the line.
Seems as though he should get some bonus credit for, I don't know, cutting 6 discs.
Yeah, 6 different discs. I mean,
holy cow.
Number of discs counted, that would have been a better outcome.
That run, dude. The hot saw is always, it brings out the nerves, but it's so much fun to race. Walk me through what you were seeing out there, bud.
Oh, it's a blast, especially when you build your own motor to run with it. You know, I built that motor last year, and it's finally breaking in. I'm getting comfortable with it. So I rushed the upcut, so I had to go back for a fourth disc. But I mean, I love the hot sauce. It's a lot of fun.
Dude, you guys were like a cookie-making factory out there in that one. Jamie had 5, you had 4, but you stayed inside the lines. Give Josh a big round of applause. Right now, looking like he will move on to tomorrow.
Well, let's break this down one competitor at a time. First cut for Arden Koger Jr., check. All well and good. Wheels start falling off on this second cut. You see the nose of the bar comes out. He's just a little bit crooked. Goes back, makes a third cut. That is also an incomplete cut. You can see it eroding away on the motor side of the saw. Okay, he's got to fix an up cut and a down cut now. Goes back, tries to set up, and you see he makes contact with the wood once, comes back up, makes contact with the wood again. There's just chips and pieces flying everywhere at this point. Here's kind of disc number 3, but I don't know that that's complete. He now has to, I believe he owes the judge an up cut on this one, but goes back and tries to make a down cut, but that top of that disc is already eroded away. Just absolute chaos. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's go over to stand number 2 where things also got out of hand. Josh Wilson on his first cut out. On his second cut, barely got anything out of it. Had to go back, re-clutch, and finish this up cut. Back over to make a down cut, and then he's going to have to go back and pick up and make another cut to count for that first one. Just absolute chaos from those two competitors.
Well, it was a terrible result for Arden Koger Jr. That DQ is really going to hurt him. His chances to make it into the finals. It's pretty ugly for Josh Wilson as well, but he does get a time. He does have somewhere in that pile 3 complete discs, 10.90 seconds. And there are 2 complete times on the board, Hovis and Wilson so far. Overall points now, this of course with only 2 heats down in the hot saw. We still got Lentz and Wilson on top, but good distance between them. Cassidy Shear, Aaron Hovis, Koger. Aaron Hovis now gone move into 4th place. That's critical right there, but we'll see if he can remain there. Thomas Lancaster looking pretty much pretty dismal for him. Could be the relegation. Looks like it will be. Mike Esch, Adam Lefko, yet to cut here. Now get ready for heat number 3.
All right, 3rd heat of the hot saw coming onto the stage now with that purple rain hot saw. Let's give it up for Cassidy Shear. And then with the flash motor, let's hear it for Mike Esch.
Cassidy Shear going to be going up on stand 1. Excuse me, stand 2, going up against Mike Esch. There on 1 is Mike. Mike Esch. 3 cuts and 3 discs, complete discs, and he certainly avoids relegation. That is for sure. Probably would avoid it anyway. Cassidy Shear looking pretty good to make it to the finals. Certainly don't want to fail to produce 3 discs on his side of the stage as well. Oh, okay. Now that's why I got those stands mixed up. So now we got them in the right spot. Everybody's going to sort of reorient themselves.
We try to keep the counting to a minimum around here too, like 1, 2. That's it. That's it right there.
That's a manageable number in most cases. Cassidy Shear, more or less, not more or less, but absolutely getting the job done. Making the hometown crowd, or at least the home state crowd, very happy. Has the hot saw purple in color in honor of his adopted hometown now, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Warm up your saw.
He did give up the optimizer.
That's gone?
That is gone. That has not been on the saw for a while. That may be impacting performance. The optimizer was the tailpipe accessory.
Yes.
He had some purple tassels back there that was blowing the exhaust breeze.
Well, he's just going to have to push through it. Sans optimizer today. He's been able to successfully navigate his way so far, and we expect him to continue here in the hot saw. Mike Esch always game to give him a good run for his money, though.
30 seconds. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
These guys looking for clean runs. Oh, Cassidy Shear, trouble on stand one on that upcut. Mike Esch is going to pull a pretty decent time as long as the line is there. Oh boy, time is still running for Cassidy Shear. Cassidy Shear is going to end up with, I believe, a DQ in this event. Just absolute calamity in this hot saw.
Man.
Okay, your cut was good. DQ, incomplete disc.
I feel that Shear is still safe. I'd have to look at the points again, but I think Shear is still going to be safe to make it into the top 4 for tomorrow. But you can see this is Cassidy's third cut with just 0 room left. Mike Esch, don't go anywhere. You came this far all the way from Pennsylvania. Mike, I thought your cut was a great cut. I thought it was fast. I thought it was controlled, especially going into that third dish. You lined it up and said, hang on here. Let's get the points. Let's fight for another day on Sunday.
Yeah, STIHL Timbersports hot saw, man. It's a pressure cooker. You got to remain calm. And I knew I had 2 good cuts, and I said, just take a time and make sure we get a pretty good time here. Lined it up and, pushed it down through.
You train fast and you have to race fast. I believe in the hot saw. If you go slow, that is not your friend's speed. A controlled speed has to be your friend. You want to keep a rhythm going. Get that saw back into the wood.
Yeah, you can't race slow, so you need to get into rhythm. It's okay to make deliberate switches, but it's a mistake to try to make a slow cut.
Thanks for the interview, Mike. Great day today. We're going to sit by patiently to see if Mike Esch is going to be our top 4.
It didn't take long for things to fall apart for Cassidy Shear. Look at the tabletop, an absolute butcher block countertop hitting the stage. Goes a little bit thin. He already knows there's trouble as he watches that disc fall off. He's going back to try to pick up wood. Got that second cut good. There is just no more real estate. There was no room for him to sneak in that third cut. What a tough run for Cassidy Shear. But I think as the points settle out, he ought to be all right. He shakes his head. He knows that it's just not a good run. And of course, Cassidy Shear grows up in the lumberjack entertainment industry. If you can't win, put on a show. Great sport, Cassidy Shear. I don't know what that would even taste like.
When all else fails,
fiber?
Take a bite of the giant cookie. That's show business right there, ladies and gentlemen. You're exactly right.
Here's a quick look at Mike Esch. Again, one of our veteran competitors, 3 decades on this stage, and those cookies stacked up beautifully. Nice, clean, consistent, straight cuts. Great run for Mike Esch.
Wow, Mike Esch there, time of 6.66, getting the job done. Absolutely there. Good time for him. Lands him in second place. That's Josh Wilson in third. Tom Lancaster, DQ. Arden Koger Jr., DQ. And now Cassidy Shear. The incomplete cookie adds the DQ as well.
Yeah, we're betting 500 right now.
Man,
in terms of
yes, that's right. We've got half our competitors so far with an actual completed run here and a time assigned to them. So we have one more heat remaining in the final discipline of the day. Pool A action, and that will decide everything. As of right now, total points, Aaron Hovitz there. That's the big story. Ahead of Mike Esch.
I'll tell you what the big story is. Adam Lefko.
Yeah.
That's the big story right now.
Adam Lethko, that terrible trouble with the underhand there. It's just, I still can't believe we saw that, but that's exactly what happened there. Just absolutely impossibly difficult underhand cut for Adam Lethko.
And terrible trouble in that underhand, but also you run down through the other disciplines today. He started out like he was shot out of a cannon in the springboard chop. Nothing else really went spectacular for him. The underhand was absolutely abysmal. So now he's really backed into the corner. This is just, I don't know. I guess if anybody's going to get backed into the corner, Adam Lethko is the most dangerous option right now.
Yeah, he could pick up top points here and still not be able to run down fourth place. So, yeah, that's a tough situation.
Jason Lentz and Adam Lethko.
Jason Lentz on stand 1 is your defending champion. He has he's put all the hay in the barn already. He's going on to the finals. There's no surprise to any person on planet Earth. There's pool competition, Pool A competition. Adam Lethko, despite the point situation, can't wait to see him perform here in the hot saw. He is the current world record holder. At a personal best of 4.62 seconds for Adam Lethko.
Warm up your saws.
4.95 for Jason Lentz. No slouch himself. This should be a good one.
Jason Lentz says there's no replacement for displacement. He's running one of the largest displacement saws out here and runs it well. This is going to be a race.
$30 seconds. Athletes ready.
Stand to your timber. 3, 2, 1, go!
Jason Lentz absolutely crashing it to the wood. A little bit of a bobble, though, and it's going to be Lethko that reels him in for the win, showing a 5.8. I think there's trouble for Jason Lentz on stand number 1. Penalty flag flying. We may literally end up batting 500 in the hot saw.
We could well.
Lethko's going to win the hot saw. Jason Lentz went over the line by about a foot. So Adam Lethko.
I tell you where this comes into play too. Jason Lentz, he's in. He could have come out and turned cartwheels and thrown his saw off the stage, and he'd be in for tomorrow. But this is now in his head. Like, that was a practice run for him for finals tomorrow. This is now in his head.
Yeah.
Okay, your cut was good. DQ, cut the line.
Yeah, I think that we got something to talk about here. I was given some faulty information, Adam.
Twisted sideways, twisted the motor around.
Talk about, come on over, Adam. Don't go anywhere either. Yeah, Jason, I haven't. You were in the wood fast. You had plenty of wood. I looked down at Adam. When I looked back at you, you had this massive wheel of misfortune dropping on the deck. What happened? What is this? Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if that's what happened, Dave. I have a piece of chalk in my pocket, and I kind of felt the motor rest on it, pull on it. Something slid off my leg to make me go crooked in that third cut. But, yeah, the first two cuts were good.
Yeah, and that's what these athletes, you carry the chalk in your pocket to chalk up the axe handles. Not needed for the hot saw, but it's amazing. Crazy things happen, including your jersey can be sucked into the carburetor, correct?
Yeah, I'm not sure if that happened or not, but yeah, I'll have to look at the video, you know.
All right, great job, Jason Lenz. Most likely going to win the pool. Definitely going to see him in the final. Let's bring back Adam Lethko. On the stage last year, you needed the hot saw, but I think you were mathematically out last year. You went after it. It was kind of mayhem. You disqualified, dialed it back in. You're going to win the hot saw. What a great recovery from 2023. Talk about it, buddy.
Yeah, I went out here knowing that watching everybody DQ a lot, that I just needed to put a good cut down, like not really go after it too much. So that's what I did, and just smooth cut.
Great cut, Adam. We're not sure if you are in or not tomorrow. Regardless, you had a great day, great springboard. Love having you back here. It's a hell of a day. This guy, he drives 40,000 miles a year. It's amazing he finds time to swing an axe. Big round of applause for Adam Lethko.
Let's take a look at that winning run from Adam Lethko, one of the best in the business, our world record holder in this hot saw event. Absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. 3 beautiful, clean, consistent discs on the stage. Got the job done and wins the event. Stand number 1, not so much. This was a big run for Jason Lenz because this is like his practice run. He's trying to do a victory lap. Something went way wrong on that last cut as he was getting up. He's laughing about it. He knows that, and that's a good sign. I think he knew exactly what went wrong. I think he knows he can fix it for tomorrow, and he will be in for sure.
Boy, look at that world-class time from Adam Lethko. He knew what he had to do. He had to win for sure. At the very least, 5.68, good enough to get the job done. Aaron Hovis finishes in second place behind him with a 6.20. Those two were very, very close, and they're both battling for that 4th spot here. It's all going to be, the tale will be told by the overall points. Lethko was not able to beat Aaron Hovis, but he was able to tie him on points. They both have 25 points. Battling for that 4th spot, Adam Lethko is listed first among the two, puts him in the 4th place spot. I don't know if that means, Kevin, that he has won whatever tiebreaker we have here.
Well, it certainly seems that he's advancing because they're giving he's doing a bit of a victory lap up there right now.
All right. He is going to be the winner of the tiebreaker. So advancing to the finals, Jason Lenz, Josh Wilson, Cassidy Shear, and Adam Lethko with a heroic final cut in his specialty, the hot saw. Pool A action is done with. As always, the hot saw plays a big, big part in it. And absolutely, again, it's going to be Lenz, Wilson, Cassidy Shear, and then Adam Lethko pulls it out at the last minute, wins the tiebreaker over Aaron Hovis. He is going to the final. Pool A action is complete.